32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
The Granite State is the site of race 16 on the calendar. Live from the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series presented by Racing Revolution. I'm your host, Morgan Cook. Alongside me, color commentator Alex Gagnon.
It's a thrill to be up here in New Hampshire. When it comes to this point in the summer, there's no place you'd rather be than somewhere this far north to try and cool off just a little bit. And this 1 mile track here deep in the heart of New England should pose to be quite the challenge for the drivers here tonight, and should be a ton of fun.
We are here in New Hampshire, the virtual New Hampshire Motor Speedway, for the Call the Pickle 150. Or 151, they rounded up. It's hard to say. We'll get into why it's called this a little bit later in the broadcast. It'll make a lot more sense here in probably 20 minutes or so. But here we are, Call the Pickle 150 here at New Hampshire. And after last week's Corn Country Jamboree, not what it was actually called, but it might as well have, I was there in person. Great show down in Iowa. Would highly recommend for any of you looking for your first NASCAR race. Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series heads northeast to New Hampshire. Points leader Jeremy Burns, still the points leader, even though he did not race last week, by over 80 points. That is over a full race worth. Points on the screen right now. Tay McDonald, Rob Rader, Caleb Gilbert, Alex Forget are your top five. Forget steadily creeping his way up the point standings so far this season. I would look for that driver to make a good run through the second half of the regular season.
Yeah, and you got Trevor Keith coming off his first win of the season last week at Iowa, bumping him up from down near 16th all the way to 10th in the standings here. It's a big bump up there for the driver of the 15, and he'll be looking to try be making a run. Just like Forget when you mentioned Forget runner-up last week, so both of those guys carrying a lot of momentum into tonight's race.
Will definitely take a load off of his mind to know that he won a race this season. Let's have a look at this racetrack. Now, this is one that is typically loathed by drivers, especially on the iRacing service. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Alex?
Yeah, for sure. So welcome to New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Basically a mile, super flat, 2 to 7 degree banking in these corners. I mean, this thing is like Martinsville if you stretched it out even longer. A little bit of wider corners, but heavy on the braking zones here entering turns 1 and 3. It's the largest sports and entertainment facility in New England, and it's the only track in all of NASCAR where you'll get a live animal as the trophy for winning the race.
That being a lobster that Denny Hamlin is scared of. Race analysis on the screen. 151 laps here tonight. 45 mile an hour on pit road. 5 tire sets, 1 on the car, 4 in the pits. 3 green white checkers. Stage lap 35. Write it down, Alex. I will certainly forget. Fixed setup as always. Let's get down trackside to your grid. But before we do that, let's talk about the Postal Financial Pole Award. And that driver is Tyler Harrison. Congratulations, Mr. Harrison. Our mission at Coastal Financial is to provide comprehensive financial planning solutions tailored to each individual's unique needs and goals, with the aim of empowering our clients to make informed financial decisions and achieve their financial potential. You can find us at coastalfinancial.com or on Facebook at Coastal Financial. Thank you to them for their season-long commitment to the Pole Award. Appreciate everything they do for this league. Now let's get to the grid. Starting on pole, Tyler Harrison, as mentioned, Robert Rader alongside him. Familiar paint scheme there. Third spot will be Travis Gilbert in the 22, Grant Thorpe in 4th. 5th spot, Jeremy Burns in the 9, Dustin Reinstedt will start 6th. 7th, Trevor Keith, last week's winner, if I'm not mistaken, Candyman alongside him in 8th. 9th, John Fike, who named this race. Thank you, John. And 10th, Carter Litz.
Rolling off in row 6 there, it's last week's runner-up, Alex Forget, James Loveland to his outside. 13th tonight will be Justice Murphy, Jacob Sirkovich to his outside in 14th. And 15th it'll be Caleb Gilbert and Brandon Richardson rolling off 16th. 17th tonight is Michael Call in the 89. Keep your eyes out on him. We'll get to that in a minute. Matt Robinson in the 1, rolling off 18th. Chris Nail in the 88, rolling off 19th. And Dylan Picklesheimer in the 43. The other driver you'll need to keep an eye on here tonight rolls off 20th.
21st, Jeff Israel Jr. His luck has not quite turned around yet in the 6. Daryl Johnson, no T, will start 22nd. 23rd, Kevin Orlando Jr. in the 27. Jackson McGeorge will start 24th. 25th, Grant Turner. 26th, Nick Alves. Let's get the race up on the screen here as we are just about to go green. Rest of the field to across the bottom of the screen. That is your field for today. Off of turn 4 to lead lap 1. Oh, that's a drag race. I think Harrison got him at the line. It was Travis Gilbert, in fact, led the first lap of this race from the bottom side. Unexpected spark here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, good start there for the 22, making his way around both of the cars in the front row to take the lead. But as he moves up to the outside wall here comes Harrison back to the inside. Already a bit of contact. The 45's loose, and he's collected. Big pile up in turns 3 and 4.
We're still wrecking. Gilbert's in his door. Tate McDonald's in his door. Oh, this is bad news.
not to start the pole sitter wanted here tonight. Tyler Harrison collected in a massive pileup here on lap 2.
Grant Turner was in it as well. Let's go back and find out what happened here on the first lap of this race, or second lap of this race. So this is a lap ahead where we
This
need
is the
to be.
battle for the lead here, where you see Gilbert make his move to the inside in 1 and 2. They'll take the lead away. Harrison tries to do the switch back into 3, and it looks like he's going to be able to make it work, and something just goes horribly wrong here into 3.
It looks like Harrison thought he was going to get more room than he did. Got it sideways and then got collected by Trevor Keith. And then again by Gilbert. Yeah, and then Tay McDonald as well.
A third car, Tay McDonald, the third car. Yeah, that's
second in
Turner's
points.
around. Erhardt had the checkup. A lot of playoff drivers, or at least in the playoff picture right now, all in that.
Yeah,
incident.
that is not what you want to see if you're one of those drivers involved. Lap 4, not even to the stage yet, and you're already caught up in something that just really couldn't get away from. Yeah, tough break for a lot of those drivers. Bring up those points up on the screen. Maybe you could do a better job than I did at Sonoma a few weeks ago of talking about drivers involved in the incident.
Well, you know, Trevor Keith obviously involved. Tay McDonald, to your point. Caleb Gilbert sitting 4th. I mean, all these guys.
Tyler Harrison obviously was the first driver to go around there.
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of
all
drivers
of them
on
in the top 10.
Trevor Keith as well. A lot of drivers on the left side of that page involved in this first incident here on lap number 4. Pacing working lap 5.
And while we've got a second here, Morgan, do we want to talk a little bit about the call the pickle?
I was just going to get into that. That is a great point. Let's do the choose here first. You'll notice drivers are going to be doing something interesting here, going way down on the chicane. This is the choose this week. There is no box on the front stretch that makes it easy to pick. So if you stay on the racetrack to the right, you are going to pick the outside lane. To the left down there, flip it around, I guess. You're going underneath the grass. You will be starting on the inside lane. I'm thinking of it from the driver's seat, not from the commentator stand. Apologies, everyone at home. It's difficult missing a week and then coming back to do this. I don't know why, but it is. Bear with me. Anyway, now the field's all together. Let's talk about Call the Pickle 151. Apparently, last week, and Alex can speak a little bit more to this, there was an incident on track between Dylan Picklesheimer and Michael Call, which led them to throw down their hard-earned money in a bet of sorts. Highest finisher wins the pot here tonight. John Fike thought he would have a little bit of fun, who is actually our second place right now, John Fike. A little bit of fun and call this race the Call the Pickle 151. So we'll be watching that battle all night. Currently, Michael Call 11th, Picklesheimer is 16th.
Yeah, both of them qualified top 20 and are already up several spots from where they started. Obviously, Michael Call's got the edge right now, but a lot of racing left still to do. And we'll have to keep an eye on that battle as it develops throughout the night, as it looks like the pace car here about to peel off to get us going again here in New Hampshire.
Field in the hands of Travis Gilbert through the restart zone. Green flag is out here at New Hampshire. Big launch for the 22. You got all of it there.
That he did. He opened up that gap in a hurry. Now everyone's going to be fighting for real estate behind him. You see Sirkovich here in this little 4-car battle out in the bottom of the top 10. Sirkovich got Justice Murphy to his inside here. And the 12-car looking to rebound from that incident from last week and close out a good run here. He's currently up into P6 and looking for more. Is jumping further back. There is Michael Call, one of the 2 cars in our bet tonight.
Ooh, massive slide for the 18. Did you see that into turn number 1?
Yeah.
Locked up the tires. Great job keeping that car from careening back to the outside. As we are 3 wide at New Hampshire, almost. I would not advise.
There's not a whole lot of places I would advise going 3 wide. A place with 7-degree banking certainly isn't it. You see Forget all the way up to the wall there in 3 and 4. And everyone's going to funnel around the 18 to Sirkovich here. Did not get a good launch off of turn 4. Call and Holloway go by 3 wide now into turn 1. Robinson on the outside. Orlando stuck in the middle. Can the 27 find his way through here?
Oh, big loose. Oh, there goes the 8.
Oh.
And Nail.
Richardson and Chris Nail into the inside wall. Heavy contact.
That's a bunch of 8s. And they're still green. Keep rolling. They were down in the grass. Raider takes the lead, maybe. Does not take the lead off of turn 4. Al Likens around.
Had, the 40 also having issues here. Yeah, a lot of cars having issues here in the early going. But very much proving this point you made earlier there, Morgan. When it comes to being on iRacing, this is one of those tracks that drivers just are not a fan of.
It is one of the most difficult racetracks for whatever reason. Maybe it's the downshift. Maybe it's just the heavy braking zones on the flat track. And it's a difficult place. It's hard to get a handle of. I certainly never have. Look at how wrecked that 45 is.
Man.
Dragon parts and pieces. That is a struggle in 26 spots. Still in the lead lap, though. Not quite over yet for Harrison. I mean, Chris Nail, obviously, having a much worse time just having spun out. Oh, another one's around, potentially. There's 2.
Oh, Nick Alves.
Cameron King.
Cameron King.
Let's go find out what happened there. I have a feeling it was similar to our first incident. High above this race course and down into turn number 1. Not sure. Oh, just stepped out.
Oh, the 24 just lost it, and the 93 had nowhere to go.
Oh, that was close. Diaz just about piled in. Wow.
Oh,
let's watch from the 26.
I don't know if I want to watch on board the 26 there. I think I might flinch. I know I'm not even in the car.
Cover your eyes, ladies and gentlemen.
Whack them. This is going through 3 and 4. And you'll see when they get back in the 1 and 2 here just how close it was for Kyle Diaz, narrowly escaping the back bumper of Cameron King.
You can't even see them yet where they are. There it happens. About 4 cars in front of them. Yeah, that was close. That was close. You still flinched.
He got it down the speed a bit, but not nearly enough from that overhead cam to avoid what would have been a certain disaster there if they made contact.
That's right. A lot of drivers on pit road, led by Kyle Diaz, Tyler Harrison, Dustin Reinstedel, Trevor Keith. A lot of drivers involved in these first incidents. Al Likens pit as well after spinning a little bit, trying to get the track position back. At this point in time, Grant Turner in 14th and then 18th on back have all made a trip to the pit lane. Your top 13 have stayed out, including your leader, Travis Gilbert. Let's do a quick through your top 10, because that's what we do here on V-Speed. We talk about everybody.
We certainly try to, at least.
We sure try to. Robert Rader, second. Travis Gilbert, your leader. John Fike, namer of the race, starts in 3rd on this restart, potentially. He's currently 3rd. Grant Thorpe is 4th. James Loveland, V-Speed's own, he is in 5th. Justice Murphy is 6th. Alex Forget finds himself in 7th. Candyman Daniel Holloway is 8th. Kevin Orlando Jr., 9th. Michael Call is in 10th. I believe we're coming to the choose.
I do believe you are right. So you see a couple of cars going down. Looks like,
Raider.
Late taker there from Rob Rader. Looked like Fike thought about it, and then Rader dove in at the last second. So Rader going to elect to restart on the front row this time alongside Travis Gilbert. John Fike going to back up into P3.
I could imagine if you've never seen a stock car race before and you saw this, you would be so puzzled.
Oh my God, yeah.
The amount of baffling.
I mean, you could watch a number of stock car races. If you just never have seen the choose cone and you're seeing whatever's happening here, you'd be probably equally as confused.
That's valid.
Maybe even more so.
That's valid. That's a good point. But that's just one of those scenes. You got drivers dipping below the racing surface for some reason. If you had no idea what the choose was, let's explain the choose for those of you who may not know what we're talking about. Obviously, the leader, when they get to the backstretch here, they have the choice of picking the inside or the outside lane. In a normal NASCAR race, there's a triangle painted on the front stretch where you drive to the inside or the outside of it to pick your lane. There is no triangle painted here on iRacing, so Racing Revolution, being the creative bunch that they are, decided there is a chicane on the backstretch of this New Hampshire Motor Speedway. If you drive on the chicane, you get to pick the inside, on the racetrack, you get to pick the outside line, which is how we ended up setting the field here for this restart. Clear as mud? Good. Another great launch by the 22.
Yeah. Travis Gilbert's having some really good restarts here. And it's really
12's
allowed.
around.
Oh boy, already some issues there inside the top 10. Everything gets checked up going into turn 1. It's going to completely separate this top few cars. Look at this Hornet's nest coming off at 2. Everyone's all bunched up, 3 wide here. Christopher Schaefer in the middle. There goes Israel. Jeff Israel's around.
There he is. There was so much happening, I missed that. Good call, Alex. Yeah, these restarts at New Hampshire are wild. There's not really and Diaz is around as well. There's not really a good defined groove here. So it's everyone just kind of barrels into the corner and hopes that they get some racetrack that works, and that is not always the case.
Certainly not that time around. You'll see Jeff Israel here, bottom of a 3 wide with Carter Linz and Christopher Schaefer. And just nowhere to go. Slides back up. Cameron King, the unlucky recipient, and Chris Nail. Couple of I'd say repeat offenders, but not much any of them could do there. That's the second time tonight a car has spun out directly in front of Cameron King. And another incident that the 88 has been a part of here tonight as well, all starting with the contact with Chris Schaefer and Jeff Israel Jr.
And Diaz, fortunately, just spun through the grass that time. Should be no damage on that 26 machine. Can still get us the pizza in time, hopefully.
Here's hoping, and hopefully the pizza doesn't have a big dent in it when it arrives.
That would be ideal. Driver I don't believe mentioned at the top of the show, Jeremy Burns, points leader, finds himself 32nd, 4 laps down. Not sure what happened. He might not have made did he not make the start by chance? Is that what happened here?
Might have been the case. It looked like he had qualified up in P5.
Oh yes, I see that.
I think he may have came down at the early. I think that first stop, I think the 9 came down pit road.
Right, but he is 4 laps down, which is why I'm curious. I missed what happened to Jeremy. Maybe a connection issue of sorts could be the case there. We'll have to get that and keep our eye on that. But this is going to be tough to make up 4 laps. That's a tall order for any driver, no matter how good you are. This may be the track to do it. That may be the driver to do it. We are 20 laps in, and we are working caution number 3 here at New Hampshire. 2 lead changes. Go ahead, Alex.
It's been an eventful couple of opening stints here. Haven't even hit the stage break, and already some action up front and a lot of chaos. Also hearing from chat, was indeed a connection issue there for Jeremy Burns.
Yep, that's what I figured it was. Unfortunate break for the 9, as that's something that you just can't really do anything about. So we are under the shoes once again. Chat, do you understand the choose rule, or have I just really confused the heck out of all you? Do let me know. I can try it for a 3rd or 4th time. Well, maybe every caution we can explain how the choose rule works. Something like that. How's that sound? How exciting.
Every time we'll just focus on a different element of it the whole time.
It's almost like explaining a field goal, all the intricacies of a field goal. You know, that's is it an important part of the game? Yes. Is it the part that everyone is glued to their TV for? Not usually.
Not a chance.
Not usually, but sometimes. Sometimes those late situations, we get really.
I'm about to say in crunch time.
Yeah.
That actually is a very good point. I was about to just fully discount it, but there is some timely moments where you're like, oh, this is a very critical situation.
Gotta let the analogy play out. Anyway, rolling through turns 3 and 4. Gilbert has the field in tow. John Fike on his inside. Another great launch for the 22.
He's just able to drive it in the turns 1 and 2 with so much authority that when he comes off the corner, he's got no challengers behind him. As you look at this going on just a little bit further back, Murphy and Loveland side by side, Orlando Jr. and Forget, Turner and Call just behind them as well. A lot of 2-wide action still has not been settled here through the opening lap of this restart. And 2 by 2 they go down the front straightaway. Almost like a mini restrictor plate event. You know, fun fact, they actually ran restrictor plates here once in, I think, 2001. And that was an absolute snooze fest of a race, and they said never again.
Yeah, that is that's interesting. I understand why they would do that, as we got 2 cars around again. That is,
oh boy, there goes Nick Alves.
And Orlando,
and Jeff
not
Israel
Orlando.
Jr.
How about Israel and Nail
Brandon
and Richardson? Yeah, this is not a good event for those 4 or 5. Someone ought to sponsor the caution replay here at New Hampshire. You get a lot of screen time so far in this race. We're yet to hit the stage. 24 once again gets loose in center of the corner. Great job by Likens. Oh, Picklesheimer's in it too.
Picklesheimer.
And Keith again.
Oh, that's going to be devastating for his bet there with Call.
Let's go back and have a look again. This time focused on the 43. He got punted by the 51 a little bit there and into the side of the 15. And yeah, that's a tough break for a lot of those drivers. Oh, Richardson caught the back of the 6. Yeah, tough race here for a lot of these drivers who we typically see run around that top 10. Have some solid runs and just not it tonight. New Hampshire will do that to you and has a habit of kicking you while it's down, or while you're down. It's always down.
Yeah, it. For a track so far up, on the map, it really does have a tendency to bring down a lot of drivers. This is always a tough stop on the schedule. And we're seeing it here, haven't even hit the stage break yet. Already a lot of drivers, maybe not with terminal damage, but certainly going to be enough damage to prevent them from winning the race tonight.
Only one driver.
A lot of cars already off the lead lap.
Only one driver's left the session. That is Chris Nail. Few drivers, though, I believe will go a lap down here, potentially. A couple modifieds out there. Nick Alves comes to mind. Caleb Gilbert
this
has
is
also...
big modified country.
Is Nick Alves... No, they are all still here. Top 29 on the lead lap, Jeff Israel Jr., Jeremy Burns, who got one of his laps back, and Brandon Richardson are the drivers 1 lap down or more. Chris Nail as well, although he has left the race. 25 laps in, which means the stage is in 10. Yes, I remembered this time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the schedule. Let's look forward a little bit. Actually, we're doing the choose right now. Let's do that in just a second. Rader again to the inside. Like last time Rader was on the bottom, he either spun the tires or missed a shift. That's what it looked like. Gonna have to tune that up this time.
Yeah, no one's had an answer for Travis Gilbert on these restarts yet. He has been able to clear the field into 1 with relative ease every one of these restarts. Someone's going to have to try and jump the timing a little bit here to try and keep pace with them in the 1, because that 22 has not been stopped on the short run so far.
Have a quick look at the weather here in New Hampshire. 72 degrees in the air, 92 on the track. May explain a little bit as to why we're seeing these issues with loose off of the corners. It's hot. It's slick out there. This track is slick as it is. Not a lot of grip, not a lot of banking, as you mentioned earlier. 7 degrees. That is less than the straightaways at Dover. Just to put that in perspective of how flat this racetrack is. Easy to find yourself out of shape and very difficult to corral it once you do get out of shape.
What's wild is that it's half the banking, basically, of Martinsville.
That is interesting. Never thought of it that way.
Because Martinsville's 12. So
Yeah,
it's
true.
it's like half of that.
A little bit less than the 9 degrees in Indianapolis as well. As we are back green. Another terrific launch by the 22. That's 2 car lengths. He's clear. Oh, issue there for the 12 maybe. Miss a shift by chance. Maybe Forget just popped to the outside, see if he can make a run happen. See Grant Turner.
Yeah, Forget's tried the wall a couple times tonight. Hasn't really worked out a ton, but he's been more adventurous as we go 3 wide here. Turner and Call.
The 1 missed.
Robinson right in the middle of it.
Yeah, the 1 locked up the left front a little bit there. Oh, Call drove into the back of Turner. Not happy with sliding up the center of the corner. Mike is going to get around Raider. What happened to Gilbert? This is so much happening.
So a lot of action at the front of the field right now. And the 10 machine will take the lead here. New leader at New Hampshire, John Fike. Maybe not for long, though. Here comes Gilbert back to the inside.
Can you say crossover?
Oh, and can you say caution?
Tide ride. Actually, Erhardt Holmes ride is around on the backstretch. Saw the colors. I was wrong. Sorry.
Well, we know what it's modeled after.
We know what they meant. Black Rifle Coffee on the side of that car as well. Or Erhardt.
Damn, Diaz got a big shove there from Al Likens going in the 1.
You did. That's what happens when you chop the nose. You usually get hit in the back.
And then just moving up the track, ran out of room there with Likens there, and around the 41 goes.
The good news there.
Seems to be the only car involved.
Minimal damage for both those machines. That is the good news in that situation. Lap 29. 35 would be the end of the stage. Quick race recap for you. 5 cautions, 3 lead changes to this point. We pitting? We are not pitting. I don't know why you would pit if you're in the top 10. Apparently Robert Rader says this is the time to pit from 2nd.
I see Sirkovich and Keith coming down as well. A lot of cars farther back in the field, but there's a couple of cars in that lead pack who are going to make a stop here. So a little bit of an alternate strategy already for the 53 compared to a lot of his competitors on track.
I suppose
he'll pull away.
If you're healthy in the point standings right now and you don't need stage points, this is going to flip the stage and you're going to jump ahead of all those drivers who stay out here in about 5 laps. So that is good news for the 53, and who knows, maybe he can chase his way up to the top 10 and get some stage points anyway, get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility if they get a couple laps of green in. Worth noting, it's if there is a caution that occurs within 5 laps of the scheduled lap 35 stage break, that will be considered the stage break. So if this gets going in a couple of laps and then they don't, if they get going again and then wreck before lap 35, we're close enough now where that will count as the stage break.
Well, that is good information to have. Your leader is John Fike as he comes to the choose. I believe this is the choose. Gilbert 2nd, Grant Thorpe, James Loveland having a sneaky good day up there in the O2. Kevin Orlando Jr. is 5th, Justice Murphy, Matt Robinson, Grant Turner, another sneaky good day. Alex Forget, Michael Call, your top 10. And unless something goes horribly, horribly wrong for the 89, it looks like he is going to get this bet with Picklesimer and Call Beats Pickle house. Just
There's
such
still a lot of race to go, but
those are words I never thought I would say. Not because I don't think Michael Call's a good race car driver, just because they're strange in that order. Call Beats Pickle? Really? Like, that's just such a strange phrase to say.
It is a very, like, mentally, like, grammatically it works, but it shouldn't.
Right. That's right. I was never good at English. But, yeah, we'll leave it at that. John Fike was able to get the lead on that last stint. James Loveland going to move to second here, see if he can make something happen on the restart from the bottom. Travis Gilbert is in third. Restart on the outside. Kevin Orlando Jr., his best spot of the night inside row 2. Pace car is going to hand them over to the flagman here right away. Little green-white checker to the stage. Racing again at New Hampshire. 3 wide, a little further back. Carter Linz put in a compromised position. Alex Forget, that 19, that is the transfer spot. Last stage point will belong to the 10th place driver. Battle for second. Loveland and Gilbert going after it. Caution.
Oh, here goes Loveland to the inside, going to try and make his move on the lead here. Gilbert going to go way down low, slide back in behind the 0-2. James Loveland trying to take the lead away here. Can Gilbert get to his inside off the corner? Thought about it for a second. Now going to pull back up behind. And now James Loveland to the front here, coming to the stage break.
Yeah, give the 0-2 the lead here. Great run for this driver, James Loveland. Mike and Gilbert
started 12th.
A good run for him, for sure. Battles on for second. One more lap, I believe. Then we throw the green and checkered flag for the stage break. Like slides back a little bit. Oh, big issue for the 39.
Big slide. I think that might have been Holloway further back, sideways into the chicane.
Carter Lynn's also around. Find him.
To
there
21,
it is.
but there is a. No, it was Carter Lynn who he got into the chicane there.
But Loveland is going to get him.
And there is the stage break. Your stage winner here tonight, the 0-2 of James Loveland. Power move to the inside, gets around Fike and Gilbert in the closing laps. And he will pick up the stage victory.
Good amount of short run speed in that 0-2. Behind him, Travis Gilbert in the 22. Led most of the laps here so far. John Fike third. Kevin Orlando Jr. fourth. Grant Thorpe, Justice Murphy, Grant Turner, Michael Call, Matt Robinson, and Forget was able to get the last point here in the stage. For those wondering where Robert Rader is, 17th. He was able to gain 2 spots after that restart. It will be difficult to pass. Good news is, about 11 of these drivers should be hitting pit road here in mere moments. Cycle a lot of your the drivers you expect to see up at the front back up to the front, like Robert Rader and those who pitted earlier.
And if Michael Call comes down pit road here, I believe the 43 of Picklesimer, if he doesn't have to come down pit road to repair any damage, would be able to jump him in running order.
That heavily damaged 43 left front all crinkled. He is going to come down pit road as well.
And pit stops have begun.
The only scheduled break in this race, lap 35. Now every driver is mid-trip to pit road. I don't know how much tires are going to matter here, simply because we haven't had enough laps to tell. But on the off chance we have a long run, I would not be surprised if Trevor Erhardt, your leader, finds himself in a bit of tough shape based on his 14-lap old tires. Rader, Schaefer, Sirkovich, Keith, Alves, Reinstedt also on older tires, so that is your top 7. So there is the leader. Rounding turn 3, Tam McDonald exiting pit road, bottom of your screen.
Been an eventful start here for Trevor Erhardt. You know, had that spin a few laps ago. Now he's going to recycle back to the front of the field on older tires, but he's got a lot of cars behind him who are also on old tires, and he might be able to hold a pretty good running position here for a while. His passing at this track is not easy unless the car in front of you washes up the track in the corner. So if you're able to kind of keep that car glued to the bottom of the middle lane, you probably will have a pretty good hold on track position even against some of those fresher tires in the opening part of the stint.
This is going to be the big test. Oh, we took the bottom? I don't know about that. I read the rule book. As long as you don't hit the grass, that is an okay. We waited to the last second. You just can't hit the grass anywhere on the backstretch. Erhardt will go to the top, though. This will be a really good test to see how much tires matter in this race. If somebody like, say, John Fike is able to, you know, roll through the field, he's the first driver on new tires, then we'll know that tires obviously are important. If he's not able to get any farther than his 10th position at the moment, then we'll have a pretty good idea that they don't matter as much as we might think. It's going to be a good test for the entire field. John Fike being the one to watch here, that gray car on the outside, right there.
And I think if you're John Fike or James Loveland, the big thing you're hoping right now is just making sure none of those cars on older tires in front of you check up the line you're in. You just want to be able to use that pace that you should have on these fresh tires to really attack the corner harder than those guys in front of you. And if this line gets checked up, it's just going to leave you with nowhere to go with all that speed.
You're right about that. We've seen a lot of restarts so far this year. Think back to Dover. We had cars wrecking on the front row. Checked up the entire lane and caused a big issue farther back in the field. Hopefully it doesn't happen here. But we've seen it before. Old tires for the top 8. Slow rolling restart, and we are off again here at New Hampshire. Great launch for Erhardt.
Whoever the leaders have been on these restarts have been able to really pull away from the field more so than some other tracks that we see. You know, it's not like the restart zone's that much bigger or smaller here. It's just they've been able to get a really good launch and pull away. You see Erhardt up in front. Meanwhile, a little further back, Nick Alves running the modified right there in the thick of it, with Loveland looking to his inside and Orlando Jr. looking to his outside.
How about this gaggle? There's your stage winner. Oh, a little hit. Oh, we're wrecking back here.
Thorpe in the wall.
Still stay green. That is bad news. Still 3 wide.
That Tennessee machine has seen better days as Nick Alves still find himself in the middle of something here.
Oh, Fike
now
locked
it's Al
it up.
Likens to his outside.
4 wide. That's
almost
not
in the wall.
work.
Oh, nearly
wow.
pinched. Al Likens was about to run out of real estate.
Yeah, somebody up there, I don't remember who it was, locked up the tire. I think it was Fike. Into the back of him went Forget up the hill, and then you saw it from there. Likens is still 3 wide. Calder was inside. Issue back here
now
at
the
51.
caution's out for something.
Not the 51. Cameron King in the outside wall. Caleb
The
Gilbert
third
as
time
well.
tonight, the 93 has been involved in an incident. The first 2, though, not of his own doing. Was this one the same?
Going
First
down
2
the
cautions
front
for
stretch.
cars that spun in front of him.
Into turn number 1 on the top side. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Yeah, still just rolling. Oh, loose off the corner.
And the 51, honestly, the 51 does a really good job checking up to not make any significant contact with the 93.
Yeah, I think all it did was
Probably
scratch the
barely
paint.
grazed him.
That was impressive. A lot of drivers just roll out of the gas and drive through them. That was a good job.
And I tell you what, all of these cautions really starting to let some of the cars who may not be on the lead lap try and get back into it here. A lot of free passes being given out in the opening 45 laps here.
And that would have been Cameron King who got the free pass. I believe the driver now, Jeremy Burns, should be getting the free passes. I think there he goes.
Yeah.
Unlike in NASCAR, where if the free pass car is involved in the accident, no one gets it. It is the first driver 1 lap down who is not involved in the accident who gets it in iRacing. It means Jeremy Burns will be 2 laps down, only 45 laps into this thing. That is very manageable for the driver of the 9. We're seeing in my opinion, one of the best comebacks I've ever seen in iRacing. He's not done yet, but we're well on our way. I don't think I've ever seen a driver come from this many laps down in any iRacing event that I've been a part of. So good work by Jeremy Burns so far, sticking with it. Let's roll through your field quick. We haven't done that here in a while. Raider, Erhardt, Trevor Keith, Christopher Schaefer having a good run in 4th. Kevin Orlando Jr. still in 5th. Ryan Stedel is 6th. Sirkovich 7th. James Loveland, stage winner, is 8th. Matt Robinson in 9th. John Fike, P10 in the 10. Grant Turner, haven't really talked about him today. He is 11th. Nick Alves leading the modified division. He is 12th. Al Likens is in 13th. Forget is 14th. Michael Call leading the Call the Pickle bet. He is 15th. Justice Murphy in the 12 is 16th. Jackson McGeorge having a good day in 17th. Kyle Diaz missed a couple wild incidents. Finds himself 18th. Candyman back to 19th. Carter Linz is 20th, now doing the choose. Going to get a little bit weird. Jake Williams Sr. did a great job avoiding the incident. That is his name, Jake Williams Sr. Apologies for the telemetry. There's one every week, and I don't know why. There's one driver who shows up as just the Phantom. This week, Jake Williams Sr. holds that torch. We'll get the rest of the field on a subsequent run. That was your top 20.
I feel like whoever has their telemetry not pop up in a given week should get some kind of bonus, you know? Like, they should get some sort of advantage for, like, being the one iRacing is deemed to be not on the scoring table.
They're too good. That has to be it. They don't get scored because they would just lap the field. You know, they would do a Jeff Burton, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, this is the site of his dominant 2000 win. This is also the race I was thinking of with the restrictor plate. This is the one time they ran restrictor plates at New Hampshire, and Jeff Burton went 300 laps, 300 miles, taking the whole thing. And then NASCAR said, all right, maybe no more restrictor plate at New Hampshire. And lo and behold, they never did it again.
Not sure what Erhardt was doing there. Drove all the way down to the inside wall. Going to lose 2 spots here. Oh, contact! Trevor Keith's around from second. Whole field wrecking.
There goes everybody. Fike, Forget, Sirkovich. Oh, boy.
Oh, that is devastating. That is absolutely devastating. We got to watch this back all the way from the restart to figure out what happened here.
I think it starts with the restart with Erhardt dipping that far low. I think it just threw the entire chi of the restart off.
Yes, no chi here. I don't know what Erhardt was doing. He lost a car length just by doing that. And then I think he just got flustered, got to the side of the 15, went into the 23, and he
turned around.
Oh, man.
And then as this was happening, Forget and Fike also get turned around just behind it. That was something unrelated entirely.
Yeah, see, Fike is 2 cars ahead of the 19.
So here we go on the restart again. Forget just punting the modified leader there, Nick Alves.
Oh, Fike just lost it
Fike
on his
just
own.
lost it.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate break for the 19, who really was, like, he was just running the top as he's always been doing and caught up in something that was not at all his fault. That might be.
And what's wild is that the 19 is one of the only cars that was willing to go up to that third lane in turns 1 and 2. If he had stayed behind the 24 of Alves that he was pushing down the front straightaway, he would have been able to avoid that entirely, because the 10 had washed up past the 24 at that point. But it was because he went into that third lane that's where the 10 was, and there was nowhere to go at that point with how quick that happened.
That's right. Looks like
so we're 50 laps in, and a crisp 7 cautions in at this point?
8.
Oh, 8.
7 plus the stage. Very close.
Ah, yes.
Let's do a reverse through your field. Maybe we will catch every driver in the field by the end of this thing. Chris Nail, currently out of the race, 32 laps down. Cameron King, 32nd, is 7 laps down out of the race. Richardson in the 8 finds himself 31st. He is 4 down. Jeremy Burns, who also has no telemetry, he is 30th, 2 down. Alex Forget, 29th, 1 down. Caleb Gilbert is 28th, also 1 lap behind the leader. Jeff Israel Jr., who I believe is 2nd in the modified division, is 27th. Oh, he's behind John Fike, who is also in the modified division. Trevor Keith, not having a great day either. Nick Alves, we've seen that car with the front end knocked off of it. Tyler Harrison is 23rd. Daryl Johnson is 22nd. Jacob Servich, who's involved in that accident, is 21st. Candyman Picklesimer is 19th. Ryan Stedel, 18th. No telemetry. He never has telemetry. Don't know what's going on there. Tay McDonald. That is up to 16th from 33rd, which is your entire field. Been a bit of a strange race, I would say.
That would be a bit of an understatement. You know, it's been a great test of restarts, but you know, they always say that cautions breed cautions. Well, you know, right now it's like an old school farm family out here. All we're getting are cautions.
Anyway, rolling through turns 3, I don't know what to do with that. Rolling through turns 3 and 4. Got the leader is Raider, 2nd is Erhardt. Erhardt again, all the way to the bottom. McGeorge
someone
with
got
a tough restart.
Yeah, McGeorge got shuffled all the way to the middle on the restart.
3 wide back there with the Candyman. 3 wide up here with the 22. Someone caught the wall. That was the 1. And the
Michael
89.
Call hit 2. '89 hammered that wall on the backstretch. You see that gap to Picklesimer, really not all that big at the moment.
We got drivers all over this racetrack. They're using every inch of this place. Big drive to the inside for the 22. Will pass Al Likens in the 40.
And that 22 machine is dialed in right now.
Dan McDonald on the rebound. Gonna get split 3 wide here if he's not careful. 18 backs out of it.
Is gonna back up just a hair. Can't say I blame him.
No, we've seen that turn out not too well a number of times already. It's a battle for 5th spot. Turner, Murphy, Robinson.
They got Travis Gilbert about to join him as well. That 22 car reeling him in a hurry.
So is this 02. James Loveland is rolling right now. Up to 4th. Raider, your leader. Biggest lead we've seen all day. That's 0.7 of a second. That's what it looks like. This is the calmest
they're coming off the corner here. Yeah, about to say, they look like they finally have found their little bit of real estate that they need out here to start logging a couple laps. See Carter Lynn's get around the outside of Al Likens there. That's the battle for 9th. And as we jump back to Michael Call, caution's out again.
Where was this one? Didn't see it. Caleb Gilbert, maybe? Trevor Keith possibly involved? Let's go back and see. I think the 15 had something to do with this. Could be mistaken. Let's go find out.
Oh,
I think I was
narrow.
right. Round with Jeremy
Oh, and the
Burns.
9 goes around. And the 15.
Casual contact for Jeremy Burns, but no lap back this time. Stuck 2 laps down, along with Forget. Let's go back and right on board with the 15 to see what he saw.
This is a tough situation to be in going in the 1. You get the run to try and make the move on the 10, and as you do so, the 9 gets the run on you to dive to the inside, and everything just kind of can openers, first for the 9 and then for the 15. That's tough. They tried putting 3 cars in 2 lanes, and whenever you try that, typically someone's not making it out of there. This time it'll be 2 cars who aren't going to see the end of the corner.
Yeah, that math just doesn't quite add up. It's hard to make 2 into 3 without somebody getting punted, as you mentioned. And that is just New Hampshire in a nutshell, right?
Yeah.
There's really only one good lane here. And as we ride on board on the nose of Robert Rader, it's right here. That bottom lane, you'd think, why wouldn't you want to be right painting that yellow line? That's the fast part of the racetrack. Well, it's got less banking, actually, about 2 degrees less, right around that line where Robert
With
Rader
banking
is.
at a premium here, you need that little extra bit to get around this corner. Just anything to push off of coming off the corner.
That's right, the second groove where the 53 is running right now, not on the straightaway, of course, but through the corner. This is where the banking actually starts, right between these bottom 2 hashes, right here. So you want to put that car right there. Let it slide up in the center, drive off the corner. The higher up you get, there may be a little more grip up there, but it's a longer way around. It's kind of your choice if you want to go that high. But you got to go where the driver in front of you isn't, because if you get into the rear bumper, they're going around 100% of the time here.
And we've seen that happen a couple of times tonight already where, you know, cars think they can make that work and then slide up the track a little bit, collect the car next to them, or, you know, just try and get a little over anxious trying to get off the corner and then end up spinning it there thinking that they'll have a little more grip to the track than they actually do. And I'm looking out on track here, and with the 89, I believe, coming down pit road to repair some damage, the 43 of Picklesheimer now leading of those 2 cars. So the 43, despite the incident he was involved in earlier, currently running 15th, and now currently leading the bet here over the 89 for the first time, I think, really all night.
So you're telling me that Pickle may beat Call. Also doesn't make any
might.
sense in English. But it's possible.
I don't know if there's any language for that would make sense.
That is true. Yeah, that's a good point. New challenger on the front row, Kevin Orlando Jr. in the 27. See if he has anything for the top lane.
I was say, he's also going to give James Loveland an opportunity here to he made his way through the field pretty well on that last restart. Now finds himself second row with everyone stacked back up. Can the 02 or the 27 play a factor here on the inside? Erhardt electing to go to the outside for the first time in a couple of restarts.
Another good launch there for the 53. Barrels it off in turn 1 by 3 car lengths over the rest of the field. Field 2 by 2 behind him. All the way through this field. It's hard to keep track of everything that's happening. He's got drivers so on top of each other.
Looks like a mini plate race out there, the way they're all stacked up in 2 rows. And as I say that, it fans out to 3 for a second. Travis Gilbert, power move to the inside of Grant Turner. That 22 car closing in on the top 5 once again. Going to see if he can work his magic once again around the 12 of Justice Murphy. As you see Orlando Jr. look to the inside here of Erhardt. The 41 back up in the P2.
Remember, 41 still has the oldest tires on the racetrack. Oh, going to get tight here. Orlando into the door of the 41.
I'm sure he's not going to appreciate that all too much, especially knowing the 27's on fresher tires.
Further back at Robinson, peeking 3 wide. Trying to make something work here. Oh, there goes Loveland.
Oh, there goes Loveland. The
Oh,
O2's around.
Oh, don't back up into traffic. Oh, that scared me.
That could have been catastrophic for more than just the O2. But it looks like he's the only car who goes around there. And he was running top 5 at the time, and I think he may have had some help there with the 12.
I think initially he just got loose off a 2 and had to save it down to the bottom. Obviously, the 12 was the driver to kind of pick him up and dust him off, so to speak. Yeah, you can see it step out right there and know where the 12 could go. No harm, no foul. But right here, I'm thinking, oh, no. Don't do that. Don't steer it back into traffic because there were 4 wide behind him.
It's a good thing Loveland ended up in the grass. Otherwise, Parker Johnson there would have, Daryl Johnson, the 49, would have absolutely found the side of that O2 machine. So fortunate for Loveland there that he ends up in the grass. That's about the safest place he could have been because no one knew behind him where they needed to go.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. You have been watching Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. The Call the Pickle 151 here on V-Speed. We'll be back right after this.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Mr. Marty's there. Cannot count after 37.
Oh!
The ball gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Dweck.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back with you live high above the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Racing Revolution's Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series coming to the choose here on the backstretch chicane. See where the leaders are going to go.
You can tell Kevin Orlando took the inside there. Even from the blimp cam, you can pick that car out from a mile high in the sky.
A lot like that Trevor Erhardt scheme of 3-4 weeks ago, that black and white one split down the middle. The Starry car, very easy to pick out in a crowd. As well, that Christopher Schaefer machine at the top of your screen, the back of this field. Bright orange and yellow, can't miss that one either.
A lot of fun paint schemes out here tonight, honestly. Racing Revolution guys always seem to have a lot of fun ones on the car, whether it's throwing it back to classic scheme, putting their own spin on it, pulling stuff from movies like the 53 there of Raider or the 39 of Grant Turner. You know, a lot of these guys pull all sorts of fun stuff out.
Yeah, Erhardt throwing it back in NASCAR history. A lot of tide rides looked a lot like that. Yeah, tons of great creativity here throughout the field. And it's been fun here all season long. Morgan Cook, Alex Gagnon here have been along with you most of this season. We'll be here for the rest of this season, give or take a week here or there, of course. Here live on V-Speed. As we roll through 3 and 4. for the 11th time. Green flag in Barney's hand. Another great launch for the top side.
Yeah, the leader's just been able to dictate the pace on these restarts. No one, whether it was been Travis Gilbert or now Robert Rader, whenever the leaders restarted, the other lane has just not been able to go with them as things get really tight there. Turner gets kicked out by Travis Gilbert when he ran out of the
they're
room
big
with
time
Erhardt
wrecking
up
in the
wall.
back. That's
Oh,
the
man.
6 again.
Jeff Israel Jr. around, I think the 23, I don't know if he was a part of it, but he was right there on the scene with the 6 as well.
Another replay here. Limp operator getting his money's worth today. Here's through
As
turn
is the
number
replay,
1.
man.
Yes. Yeah, Israel loose into the 23 and around they both go. Big wall contact for both those guys.
And the night of yellow continues out here at New Hampshire. I believe that's caution 11 on the night. Through the opening 69 laps of this race, it has been a war of attrition out there right now.
Some drivers coming down pit road. Erhardt, Holloway, Williams Jr. among those. So is Call.
A lot of battered race cars out there right now.
A lot of battered race cars. You're right about that. Only a few drivers not involved in incidents today. Really, that list is probably only about 8 big. Rader, I don't think I've seen him sideways today. Kevin Orlando Jr. Justice Murphy, no issues for those 3. Travis Gilbert's been pretty clean today. Grant Turner, he got spun around once, if not mistaken. Linz has got contact. Robinson's been in the outside wall a time or two. Likens got spun once, I think. Diaz spun in the grass and narrowly avoided a couple others. Thorpe either
Thorpe's
got
hit the outside wall.
Yeah, Thorpe got moved somewhere. I think McGeorge's been pretty clean here tonight. Servich got
Outside the one time he got swallowed up on the restart.
True. 18 got I don't know if he got spun. Oh, he did get spun with Forget. He was part of that turn 1 incident.
Yeah.
Trevor Keith got spun from what, 3rd? The lead?
Yeah,
2nd.
with the contact with Erhardt.
Right.
And the other part of that incident with Fourchette.
Right.
Picklesimer got caught up in something on the backstretch.
Daryl
I think
Johnson.
the first car who I don't know if they've been in anything tonight might be Daryl Johnson.
Yeah, good work here for the 49, keeping it clean. Loveland got spun. Nick Alves running a modified, anyway, got that front clip back on. Forget's had a tough night. Erhardt's had a tougher night. William Senior was in the outside wall. Ryan Settle got spun. Cole's been spun. Harrison got caught up in a lap 1 accident. Like this field's just been decimated here today.
Yeah, Richardson's been involved in stuff, as is Fike and Burns. Burns also had the connectivity issues at the start.
Yeah,
Jeff Israel Jr.'s had a tough night.
McDonald, the
I
lap
mean,
1
it's just
accident.
It's been brutal out there. There's the number of cars who have not had a situation out there tonight. It's a single-digit number for sure. You might be able to count it on one hand.
Yeah, which is wild considering there were 33 drivers entered for this race and still 30 of them running is, I think, the crazier number.
Yeah, really.
Caleb Gilbert, Cameron King, Chris Nail, the only drivers off the racing surface right now. Richardson is the last driver running. He is 4 laps down.
Once again, Orlando Jr. going to see if he can find anything here on this inside lane. It's not been the preferred lane here tonight. Whoever's been on the outside has been able to dominate basically from the drop of the green flag on each of these restarts. But that 22 is who I've got my eye on just behind him. Travis Gilbert, that's a fast car tonight. And he's almost back into a spot where he can challenge for the lead again.
Ah, quick shift. That's what he's doing. Right at the top of the gear stack, and whatever gear he's in, able to quickly jab it into gear and get a great launch. Probably down in first gear, possibly here at New Hampshire.
And that 22 going right to work. Dive into the inside of Orlando Jr. here is Travis Gilbert. Led most of the opening stage, looking to try and retake the lead. If he can get up to the back bumper of Rob Rader. Has to clear the 27 first, which is easier said than done as he looks to the inside.
Make that battle for second a battle for the lead. Oh, just about got turned by the 27. As we are 2 laps from halfway here at New Hampshire.
Gilbert moves into P2, Orlando Jr. in third. Justice Murphy leads a swarm of cars from P4 on back. 2 wide there, Linz and Turner. Al Likens into the mix as well. As Travis Gilbert gets around Rob Rader in the turn 1. New leader here at New Hampshire. Here comes Orlando Jr. as well. Look at this battle for the lead. Right now the battle for second, man. That was a daring pass from the 22. Made it work and is driving away.
Diaz had an issue off of 2, dropped a bunch of spots. Still on the bottom of 3 wide here, back to the 16th position. Not sure what's happening with that car. Likens had a tough turn 4 exit. Battle for second still going on. They're dooring each other here through turn number 1. Rader, Orlando Jr. Oh, they're really dooring
more
each
contact.
other.
They are leaning on each other, something fierce right now. Will that continue here into 3 and 4? We've seen cars get turned under less heavy contact tonight. Both of these guys still pointed the right direction, but it's letting Justice Murphy and company get into the scene as well as Rader able to clear the 27, at least temporarily.
Let's get our first driver cam of the night. That would be our buddy Grant Turner here in the 39, doing his thing back here in the 6th spot.
Oh, and
I think we got an issue.
Caution's out for the 12th time tonight.
I believe that had something to do with Colin Picklesheimer.
Yeah, I'm about to say Picklesheimer and Forget I saw both dropping down the timing table. Big contact for somebody in 3. Diaz is around.
Let's go back and figure out what happened to these drivers. There's Call right behind Picklesheimer. That's why I think, maybe this, maybe the name of this race had something to do with it.
Oh
And
no,
it
they just ran out
did.
of room.
Yes, they got into each other for sure. Oh, big hit for the 49.
Oh, we'll have to watch that on board with like the Trevor Erhardt or Daryl Johnson. I mean, this just compounded further down the track. It started with the tight exit there with Trevor Keith, Michael Call, and Dylan Picklesheimer, and then just
Forget.
escalates further.
Boom.
Oh man, heavy hit.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to swallow for the 49. I mean, that car was pretty pristine throughout this race. Now the front bumper's pushing through the bodywork on the nose of that car. That is suboptimal. That's what I would call the front end of that 49 right now.
That I think would be calling it something generous. That car looks like it's going to be due to get completely torn apart and rebuilt at the end of this race week.
Less than stellar, or am I still being too critical?
I think that's what I would call it. I might also say the word pretty devastated. It might be the word I would use there.
All
I mean,
right.
that the front end of that thing looks like it's going to try and eat something there. It's got a face to it at this point.
That's
just been a tough night out here for most of the field.
Yeah, it's hungry. He's gonna go out there and try and gobble up some spots. See if he can make his way through this field.
If he can't do that, he'll at least look for Kyle Diaz's car, see if he can get some 30 minutes or less delivery.
Kevin Orlando Jr. something to wash it down.
Honestly, quality meal you could assemble here with some of the cars.
You
you
sure
also
could.
got the dessert there with the Holloway scheme. I mean, you could really put together a nice feast here.
Yeah, you absolutely could.
This is how you can tell that New Hampshire's going great. Is we're talking about making a meal out of the paint schemes out here.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think only one university out here. Is that right? Just
I
Thorpe?
believe so, yeah.
Oh, there's other QSR, which we did last night. There is a Clemson car in that race. That's why I have to ask myself,
Who was driving the Clemson machine?
That would be Brent Allen.
Okay, don't know him.
Having an all
From
right season.
some time in some other collegiate leagues, I recognize a lot of Clemson folks, but that's not one of them, unfortunately.
Having a pretty decent season out there. Go check out QSR. Of course, after you finish watching us here at New Hampshire, the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, presented by Racing Revolution, here at New Hampshire. It's been a tough one. I think a lot of these drivers looking forward to the checkered flag falling here in about 70 laps.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or is pole sitter Tyler Harrison back into the fray in the top 10?
Well, goodness gracious.
Look who's back.
Look at
That car got beat up on lap 2, and with the way this race has gone, he has worked his way back into a top 10 running spot. These are the kind of efforts you need to have if you're going to be one of those main playoff contenders. Even if things don't go your way, you got to be able to rally and steal points away from a car that may not have the speed. And that's exactly what the 45's doing right now.
Look down there in 27th. Jeremy Burns only 1 lap down.
Oh boy, if he gets on the lead lap, that'll change the complexion of this race a little bit.
It will. Raider away into turn 1. Another huge jump there for your outside leader of the row, I guess. I don't know what you call that driver. It's mind fraying up here at New Hampshire.
Just every caution adds an exponential amount of psychic damage to the V-Speed booth. To a point where I forgot what we were called for a second.
Yeah, we're having fun. I promise you that.
Time.
Here, second spot, good battle, Orlando Jr., Carter Linz. Carter Linz rebounding well after having a couple incidents here throughout this race, side by side for over a lap to this point. We get the run off the corner. James Loveland just got spun out not that long ago. Grant Turner falling through the field. A little damage on that machine. I think he's still running that Thrustmaster Formula wheel. Probably is not working terribly well for him here today.
There has been a lot of speed in that O2 car tonight.
Oh, yes.
I tell you what, I've been very pleasantly surprised with James Loveland here tonight. He just continues to work his way to the front of the field, and we haven't been on board with him a ton, but when he has, he's almost always getting around somebody. Same deal with the 22 of Travis Gilbert.
51.
We're on board here with the 51 of Williams Sr.
Well.
I mean, he's having a stellar night as well.
He is. I don't often see this driver up around the top 10. He's running here 9th and kind of been here all night. Been passed by some fresher tires on that 21 of Holloway. Got battles all over the racetrack right now. Good one up here still for the 3rd spot. Linz Loveland getting after it.
Travis Gilbert about to make it a 3-car party for 3rd here as the 22 sneaks into position behind Carter Linz. The 22 and the 02, some of the fastest cars on track tonight. It's a big lockup there, I think from the 18, forced to 45 down low, and that's going to make this an interesting battle here for 8th.
The reason why you see drivers stab the brake pedal like that, when these cars get loose, there's a pretty easy way to get them righted again. You just quickly jab the brake pedal, straightens it right out, kills the momentum, but at least you don't nose it to the outside wall. Unfortunately, the 18 and the 45 are the check up. Because of that, it brought the rest of the field to them, which is why we see a 3, 4, 5 car battle here for the 8th position.
Yeah, nice little nose to tail there. Holloway, Robinson, and Grant Thorpe, 3rd car of that mix. Looks like Robinson's going to take a peek to the inside here of Holloway off of 2.
Oh, someone got spun. Trevor Keith's around. Oh,
heavy contact to the inside wall.
Good night.
Last week's winner not finding some repeat success here. And that car's getting towed back to pit lane.
Yeah, engine's blown. It's over for him.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, that is
Caution number 13 on the night.
That is a tough break. Let's go back and watch what happened to the 15. Got Grant Turner behind him off his quarter panel and up and just gets into him.
Yeah, that's a tough situation there. Not much you can do if you're Trevor Keith. You have cars to your outside. You can't really push further up the track, and the car gets to the corner like that, coming off the corner, and it's tough. So I think Trevor Erhardt will get the free pass, putting him back on the lead lap, and it'll put Jeremy Burns into being the first car one lap down.
Up to 24th spot is the number 9, our points leader. Kyle Diaz also one down. Trevor Keith obviously just left the racing surface. He is currently one lap down. He will fall farther back in the field. He's going to join Trevor Erhardt, Jeff Israel Jr., Caleb Gilbert, Cameron King, and Chris Nail as drivers to retire from this race. A war of attrition here in New Hampshire.
It has been a battle out there from the drop of the green flag tonight. This has just been a... it would be unfair to call it a demolition derby. It's just been a very challenging drive for a lot of folks here tonight. Because all it takes is one errant twitch to collect yourself into the outside wall and maybe a couple other cars. And that's been the case. It's just been a whole lot of racing incidents out here tonight. Because there's not a whole lot of real estate on this track.
You are right about that. And with about 60 laps to go, we will take another quick commercial break. You're watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series. We call the Pickle 150 here at New Hampshire. Be back right after this.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Back here live on V-Speed at New Hampshire. 1 to green for these drivers. Going to be getting after it here shortly. About 60 laps to go in this race, attrition-filled race at New Hampshire.
I'm looking at this this timing table, and one thing that calls to me right now, Michael Call, Dylan Picklesheimer, P16, P17. This battle is still going, and they're about 91 laps in. They have not been able to get separated from each other. There's the 89 on the inside, 1 row back to the outside there, the 43.
New leader on the top side. Kevin Orlando Jr. going to take him all the way to the wall, IndyCar style. Slow restart as well. Big jump. Loveland to his inside.
Not a bad restart there from the 02. Great restart, though, from the 22 of Travis Gilbert, getting in on the action as well up front. Kevin Orlando Jr. is just getting hounded at the front of the field right now. Loveland looks to his inside in turn 3. He'll try and block 2 lanes of traffic here from 2 really fast race cars.
That's going to be a tall order to keep the lead here from those 2 cars. As you mentioned, 22 has been fast. 02 has been the probably second fastest car on the racetrack, right behind that 22. They're both staring down your leader right now. Oh, we got an issue back there. It's a 21. Almost around. Big slide there for Holloway off the corner of your screen. As Loveland and Gilbert continue to battle.
I think that battle's the only thing that is keeping them right now behind the leader, Kevin Orlando Jr. These two cars basically side drafting each other all the way around this racetrack. As now Loveland has a nose to the inside for just a second on Orlando Jr. Can he make a pass going into turn 3?
One thing to
The
remember as
02
well,
has a nose to the inside.
Kevin Orlando Jr., 56 lap old tires. James Loveland, 29 lap old tires behind them. Freshest tires on the racetrack, Travis Gilbert, 15 laps old, at least in the top 10. So tires staggered. We'll see if the speed matches the laps on the tires as Loveland goes to the inside. Might clear him here off at turn 2. He will, in fact, take the lead.
27 just, oh, big slide for the 27.
He's going to lose 4 or 5 spots here. Keeps it on the black. Good work. For Orlando, who's back to 6th position.
He got real loose off of 2 the moment he lost the lead. Was lucky to keep that car settled underneath him. See, the 21 still having issues. He's fallen further back into the field here. Now in the middle of 3 wide.
I see Picklesheimer at the bottom of 3 wide as well. 2 spots behind Call. You can see Call, that red car just left your screen. There he is, only a few cars ahead of his rival today. And there's Picklesheimer in the shot. Tyler Harrison is really
looking at the
giving that wall a good look as he runs the very high line. Look at this.
He's getting way out there, about 4th lane up the track. Justice Murphy going to go out there with him, actually, that time around. But, yeah, I don't think gripping the wall at New Hampshire is a thing that happens very often, but it seems to be working okay for the driver of the 45 right now. The pole sitter has some speed, we know that much, but that car got damaged a lap or 2 into this race. Hasn't been the same since, but he's continuing to try and rally this thing back into a solid points finish, and right now in 8th place, I think he would happily take with the way the first couple laps are. As the 27's around, the 45 going to be able to duck to the inside as the caution comes out.
Did you see that? He didn't ever flinch.
Nah, that was calm and collected. Far more calm than I would have been in that situation.
I can picture Alex just screaming into his computer, seeing a car sliding in front of him. Let's go back and have a look at the 27. That heavy damage there. He really hit something hard. Kevin Orlando Jr. running there in the 6th position. Oldest tires on the racetrack. Just simply loose and almost had it saved. Spun it all the way around, and somebody must have got him. Oh, yeah, Picklesheimer.
Oh, Picklesheimer.
Oh, Picklesheimer.
Oh, man.
Got him. Holy cow.
Whacked him. I think that's caution, I'll say that's caution 14 on the night with the 27 spinning and the 43.
Ladies and gentlemen, avert your eyes.
Oh, he also got loose.
Yeah, he got him. Man. Wow.
That is certainly not going to help his quest to finish ahead of Michael Call tonight, that's for sure.
It will not. I'm surprised that car's still running, considering how hard he just hit the door of the 27. No wonder the 27's got no front suspension anymore. Should add to the list of drivers no longer running in this event. Make that list 7 long, potentially.
Looks like the 43 is going to be able to get back on track. 27, I do not believe, will be as fortunate, at least not right away.
Right. As long as the magic smoke hasn't left the 43, I think he's going to be okay.
And through all of this, one of the cars that I saw make their way down pit lane there, the 9 of Jeremy Burns. Back on the lead lap once again.
Back in the top 10.
He has dug himself out of a massive hole tonight with connection issues. Basically started this race 4 laps down, but 14 cautions has basically got him right back in position here. And he is currently running about P8 after this pit cycle. The points leader just not to be denied tonight.
Yeah, impressive drive, good resilience from the 9. Again, telemetry not working. Apologies for that. Not sure. Something to do with a connection issue where you drop out and it never picks you back up. ATVO doesn't. Apologies for that. So we are going to choose. Loveland gets first choice. Bottom. Yes, he will take the bottom. Interesting. First time tonight. The leader says, I want the bottom side. I almost don't think it matters if you're the leader, which lane you pick, because you can get a good launch down the straightaway. By the time you get to turn 1, you can kind of pick where you want to go.
I almost wonder if the O2's looking at it as in, on the off chance he doesn't fully clear the 22, he'd like to have Gilbert to his outside going into turn 1 and not to his inside where he could potentially run him up the track. That's just my guess. It may be a reason of why the O2 takes the bottom there, but first time tonight, at least from what we've been able to see, that we could argue that the fastest 2 cars on track, at least as far as raw pace under green, are restarting in the front row.
I would say the 3rd fastest car tonight has been Robert Rader, who is currently in the 3rd spot or 4th spot, depending on when they cycle through here. But I agree with you.
You've also got Tyler Harrison, the pole sitter, continues to find his way back into contention here, man. He's 5th.
Agree with that. I think you're right about picking the inside lane on this restart. We've seen the 22 all season long, not afraid to bury it in there. In turn 1, you did not want to be on the top side of that, and this racetrack, there's not enough time to recover. 50 laps to go here at New Hampshire. Green flag in Barney's hand for, I think, the 15th time tonight.
I believe you're right.
Into the restart zone. Legs waving. Here we go. Big loose back there for Call. That was just about a big one.
I think
3
he
wide.
may have got a little bit of help from Grant Turner getting into the corner. And the last place you want to get help entering the corner is entering the corner. As you see, look how tight this is going to be getting into turn 3.
Battle for the lead. 22 to the inside, 02 to the outside. 4 under a blanket.
They are literally in a drag race down this front straightaway. Travis Gilbert going to try and dive it in here on the inside. Loveland running a lane higher. Is not going to be able to stay to his outside corner. Will he try the crossover back into 3?
He couldn't
Does
cross
he have enough
over.
time, or will Grant Thorpe take away that option?
Couldn't cross over. 77 was there. Through the center of turns 1 and 2. Couldn't do it. Somebody's around. I just heard contact the outside wall. Jake Williams Sr. into the fence. Oh, 23.
Oh, Schaefer really loose.
Good save.
Trying to catch it. I think he did.
He did. Good job, 23. Thorpe and Loveland still fighting. Under 50 to go.
Yeah, that 77 machine has really picked it up a notch on this restart. Best speed we've seen from him.
I think if
Look
your
at that,
car's
now battling for the lead.
If your car's orange, you probably have a good chance here today. That's what I'm seeing.
Gilbert going down the block. Thorpe, though, not to be denied. He's got a nose to the inside here of the 22 as they make their way off the corner. Bit of a slide there for the 77. Here goes Rob Rader to make it 3 wide. Look at this battle for the lead.
Oh, he turned him.
Oh, he tagged Travis Gilbert. And we stay green.
Well,
man.
That 22 is going to be seeing red here for a little while. Wow, that changes.
I'd be livid if I was him, man. That's brutal.
That changes the complexion of the front of the field, without a doubt. Wow, Raiders going to squeak away here with a half a second lead. Loveland and Thorpe are going to fight for second. Carter Lynn's running here in 4th. Hall and Harrison doing work. Best Michael Call's been all day. Jeremy Burns appeared out of nowhere. He's up to 7th. Matt Robinson is 8th. Justice Murphy, Grant Turner, your top 10.
that it's a big gap back from about 12th or so to the rest of the field. It's quite the breakaway here, but Travis Gilbert has held on to the end of this lead pack. Currently running P13. He's like one of the last cars in this lead group, him and Daniel Holloway.
You can see all the work
For
he
the
has to
22
do.
car. Yeah, he was leading this race up until that contact with Thorpe, and just, you know, it's one of those things where if it was like the last lap, I don't think anyone would question the move. But with still over 40 laps to go in this thing, you know, if the 22 has the opportunity to get back up there, as you see a little bit of contact between him and Al Likens, that 22 car, I'm sure, not going to be too forgiving if he finds his way back to the 77.
18 leading on the 39 here through the corner. Get a little bit of a door through the center. Will take the spot.
A little bit of a lockup there for Robinson.
Easy to do. Flat racetrack, a lot of speed. Harrison going to give way. We get a push.
Burns is into the top 5.
And Call right behind him, 6th spot, having a great run. Kevin Orlando Jr. has retired from the event. He will finish 26th tonight.
It's a tough break for the 27. That alternate strategy was working for him for a while, and then just got real loose on those burnout tires and overcorrected trying to save it in the middle of 1 and 2. You see here, that's the battle for 3rd on your screen. Grant Thorpe, Carter Linz.
But Loveland is caught
James
Raider.
Loveland, yeah, he's back in the mix here to make this a battle for the lead as they come to 40 to go.
Yeah, it is not over yet. One of the few times this season Raiders led on a short track and had somebody be able to keep pace with them. Remember back to Phoenix, he dominated that race. Remember back to Richmond, he dominated that race before spinning. Bristol, him and Forget dominated the race before Forget hit the wall. That 53 has been incredible on tracks a mile or less this season, showing him that he knows what to do here in the Granite State. 50 laps led.
Yeah, but right now, filling up a whole lot of that mirror is the 02 of Loveland. That car has been bad fast all evening long, won the stage by getting around the 22, and now closing in on the back bumper of the 53. They've created a little bit of separation from Thorpe and Linz as well behind them. It's kind of 2 chunks of 2 right now, those top 4 cars. And then it's 5th back to Burns, who's on a little bit of an island. But up at this front of the field, or actually, if you jump a little further back, Michael Call, Matt Robinson, battle for 6th here, also has Justice Murphy and Travis Gilbert, who's back up to 9th.
Oh, Call.
His charge is going to continue.
Call got loose to the corner, had to stab the brake pedal to save it. That's going to give another spot to Travis Gilbert. Might just go take 2 more here to the center of 3 and 4. Man's on a mission right now.
There's going to be some fireworks if he can work his way back to that top 5 group. You see he's looking to the inside of Justice Murphy here in the 1. Running that second lane, that preferred lane that you were talking about earlier there, Morgan, right where that banking starts to pick up. Going to use it to great effect. Just about cleared the 12, wasn't able to do so, but might be able to outbrake him here in the 3.
Certainly will slide up right there, and that is going to be enough to grab the spot away. That's 7th for Travis Gilbert. Going to go work on Robinson here for the 6th position. Fastest car on the racetrack, undoubtedly, is that 22 machine.
It's just been fun watching him and Loveland go to work tonight. You know, it's not been an easy place to pass New Hampshire, but these 2 guys have seemed to be able to figure it out. Although if you're James Loveland right now, this is the one time that you really wish you could figure out how to make that happen. Currently sitting 2nd, within half a second of the leader, but starting to fall back just a little bit here from Raider. He was about 0.3 of a second back, now marking about half a second. As the 02 just trying to latch on to the back bumper of Raider here, but it's starting to open up just a hair.
Loveland on about 20 lap older tires than Raider as well. Might be playing into this. Raider goes high a little bit in the corner. Maybe he's trying to stretch it out on a diamond. Looks like he is. Loveland, oldest tires in the top 12. Probably not boding well for his efforts right now. Harrison potentially pitting. Yes, he is. Pit road for the 45. Ran it as far as he could. This will put him a lap down for sure. Other lap down drivers, Brandon Richardson in the 8, Jake Williams Sr. in the 51, Kevin Orlando Jr. in the 27, Alex Forget in the 19. Those drivers all one lap down and still in the race. Trevor Keith, Trevor Erhardt, Jeffrey Israel Jr., Caleb Gilbert, Cameron King, Chris Nail out of the race.
You see here, looks like Matt Robinson, Justice Murphy not done with Travis Gilbert yet. Gilbert moves up into P6, but Murphy and Robinson were right on his back bumper through 1 and 2. And now Travis Gilbert has his eyes set on Jeremy Burns, who's going to try and work his way back into the top 5. The gap between the 22 and 77, about 2 seconds right now, and a handful of positions. You can see Thorpe's orange and gray checkerboard there, about 3 cars ahead. That's the guy, the 22, who's going to try and work his way back to. Those are the 2 cars that made contact when those guys were running first and second. And that's why they now find themselves here outside of those top 2.
And at this rate, he's going to get there. He's 0.2 a lap faster that time. Loveland hits
Loveland
pit road.
down pit road.
That is a big development. I don't know if everyone has to pit, but if they do, this is going to be an interesting finish. 22 catches the 9. Maybe dispose with him here off of turn number 2. He just may. Drag race down the back. Give the spot to the 22. Only one car separates him from the 77.
Travis Gilbert has been wildly impressive tonight. That car is wicked fast. Just is able to stick the car wherever he wants it to make these passes happen. And just has had great top-line speed. You see Loveland working his way back on track here. He'll recycle with some of the cars he was racing against just a moment ago, but now this time 1 lap down. And still have some work to do to try and get back onto the lead lap.
First car 1 lap down, leader in sight. The fall off, about 0.6 of a second. So he should be able to get there in only a couple of laps, considering Burns is 4.5 back. Yeah, about 10 laps or so. I think Loveland will be able to catch up to the leader on raw pace and pass him. But it really makes me question if everyone else does not have to pit. Those drivers who are off cycle are going to be in trouble. But they pitted with about 60 laps on their stuff. Grant Thorpe has 44 on his stuff, and there's 30 laps to go. So I'm not sure how the math works here for the fuel run, if that is all they can go, or if they're trying to split it in half, or what happened there. But the field isn't spread apart as it's been all day. Fuel strategy time.
Yeah, it's about the longest green flag run we've had all day as well. Those 2 things going hand in hand as we watch this battle here. Daryl Johnson, Kyle Diaz. Battle for 16th on track. The 49 goes way up to the outside wall. Diaz will slide on by on the inside. And that 26 machine has seen some action tonight, but going to try and rally his way into a top 15 finish potentially. Currently running P16.
So is the 49. Remember, he picked the back tires of Forget up off the ground at a turn 2 down the backstretch. So yeah, those drivers have seen some stuff today. That is for sure. Grant Turner seen some stuff as well. So has Harrison.
And same with the guy just behind them,
Picklesimer.
Dylan Picklesimer. I mean, for all the issues that the 43 has run into tonight, still running a very respectable P14 out on track. Michael Call, though, currently sits P9. So right now he is on the losing end of that bargain between the 2, but not out of it yet here with about 25 laps to go. The gap only 5 cars between the 2.
89 also had his fair share of issues today. Spun at least once, hit something else pretty hard in the nose. I can't recall what that was.
Yeah, I got a piece of the outside wall off of 4 that caved in a bit of the right front.
That will do it, certainly. Oh, Gilbert can see him. And Loveland has got around everyone but Raider. Oh, off the outside wall a little bit right there. Kyle Diaz just passed both Ryan Settle and Johnson in one corner. Don't know how that happened, but good on you.
Second, third, and fourth here all starting to compress a little bit. They're all off the pace of Robert Rader, but second through fourth very much up for grab. Grant Thorpe, the leader of this bunch, but on the oldest tires of the three, I believe. And then you get back to Carter Linz and Travis Gilbert. And that 22 machine with a great run down turn 2 just absolutely evaporated the gap to the back bumper of Carter Linz.
Impressive stuff we're seeing out of Travis Gilbert, who has the same tires as Grant Thorpe. Linz and Rader on the same tires as well. So 2 different strategies up here at the front, only separated by about 10 laps. As I believe, oh, I was wrong about that. I thought that Loveland had just got around. Loveland is going around Schaefer. Lap car in the middle of Rader and Thorpe. Another orange car. I got confused. It happens. There's Loveland in the back of the screen.
There's quite a few of them out there as Travis Gilbert gets around Carter Linz. Now running second and third. Grant Thorpe, Travis Gilbert. Oh, caution's out.
Grant Turner's around.
Oh, Grant Turner's in the wall. The hood missing from the 39.
No, it's there. It's just black.
Never mind. It just blended in with the outside wall. And I'm going to go get my contact prescription updated. And by updated, I mean applied for, because I think I need them.
Off of 2, fighting with Picklesheimer.
This was in the top 15.
Just loose. Oh, big snap. Those into the outside wall.
Very reminiscent of Kevin Orlando Jr. spinning 1 and 2 from about 40-ish laps ago.
Yeah, so easy to do here. Well, that changes everything.
It changes a lot, and I think we're going to see a lot of cars at the front of the field think about coming in for fresh tires, because 20 laps is enough where the old tires might not be enough.
Loveland, big loser out of this. First, he's trapped a lap down. He's going to end up getting the lucky dog, but he's going to have to cycle back all the way back through this field. He's going to restart probably 21st. Bad news for him. Everyone else, though, kind of hit pit road. Save for the 45, who is also a lap down. Yeah, so everyone. Grant Turner.
It's a critical pit stop here.
Yeah, Grant Turner is going to stay out. Never seen that before.
I was curious to see if anyone was thinking about a 2-tire stop. Justice Murphy and Jeremy Burns, I think, did just that. Burns takes the lead off pit road. There might be a couple cars ahead of him still on track, but the 9 wins the race off pit road. Oh boy, would this be a story if Jeremy Burns comes back from 4 laps down the win here tonight at New Hampshire.
And a car that looks pretty good. Not a lot of damage on it. Spun around once, but then again, who hasn't so far in this race here? 132 laps in, not even a tire mark on the side of that 9. Grant Turner, however, he leads. Oh, he did pit. He's want to get that lap led. He will cycle all the way back through the field, making this pit stop. Move Murphy and Rader and Thorpe up to your top 4. Travis Gilbert will be 5th as we come to the choose. And telemetry
The timing table, I'm about to say the timing table just gave up there when Burns took the lead. I think even timing and scoring can't believe that the 9's at the front of the field right now.
Interesting stuff. We're going to have to go and fix that. Bear with me here. We're going to take a quick break here while I try and figure out what's going on. Back right after this.
Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Rabbit. Where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live on V-Speed. Timing and scoring has been fixed. Jeremy Burns leads here at New Hampshire. Justice Murphy on the outside. Raider, Thorpe, Gilbert, your top 5.
Here we go. Look at this run the inside line has. Burns, Raider, Gilbert all nose the tail in the 1 and 2. The 9 will clear Murphy on the outside. Raider goes through with him. And then Gilbert going to look to the inside of Justice Murphy as well. Going to try and make this a 3-car battle up at the front of the field as there is action everywhere.
Matt Robinson falling through the field. Picklesheimer's riding the wall. So is Likens. We got cars all over the place right now. I don't think we've had our last
Raiders
caution.
making a go for the lead.
Raiders going to take it to the inside of Jeremy Burns. Down on the flat stuff. Going to work up the racetrack. Burns with the run off the top. Maybe. Drag race. Down the back
As
stretch.
these guys stay side by side, it might let Travis Gilbert get into the mix here as well. Raider can't clear the 9 yet. The 22 gets right up to the 53's back bumper.
Caution's
and the
out.
caution's out again.
Oh, there goes Raider. Raider
Oh,
just
the
got
53's
turned under
around.
caution. Oh, don't back up
Oh,
now.
he's bringing him into traffic.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, that's rule number 1 of what you don't do.
Oh, I don't even know what happened there. I was so busy watching the 53. I think it was Picklesheimer had something to do with this, I believe. Let's go back.
There's a lot to digest from that one.
Oh, there's a lot to digest. So we're all messed up here. Oh, there it was. Grant Turner.
Grant Turner ends up in the grass.
Yeah, he got moved.
39
Oh, and
was
Alves again.
He re-enters modified mode there, Nick Alves.
Oh, I think he got turned by Alves, actually. Yes, he did. He thought he was clear. He certainly was not.
What a
And
ride for
Loveland.
James Loveland to miss that.
Boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
So let's see if we can take a look at what happened to Raider up at the front of the field.
We'll catch that right after we see how Loveland narrowly escaped this mess. There's one.
So he misses it once and then
There's
back
2.
up the troll. Oh, they got even closer the second time. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's unreal. Let's go have a look at. There's Raider spinning already. The 53. Quick look at what happened there. So this is him. Caution is coming out here right about now. Caution's out. And he just slows down and the 22 doesn't. Just turned him. Into the
I'm
inside
sure the
wall and then
53, not at all happy about that, but coming back into traffic is, I think that's just one of those things. You get angry that you got turned from up front. You're just trying to get going so you don't lose any spots under caution, and people are still trying to get on by. Luckily, that wasn't collecting anybody else, but
well, I'll tell you what.
severely impact the 53's chances here tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've done that before. Daytona 24, spin in turn 1. Everyone's done it if you run that race. And it's very difficult to see the very fast traffic coming at you that you end up backing up into it. We've all been there. We've all done that. But it is what it is.
Indeed.
And
looking at this this top 5, what a fun mix up front. Jeremy Burns coming back from 4 laps down. Travis Gilbert, we know he's got speed. Justice Murphy battling it out there on 2 tires. Grant Thorpe has been all throughout the top 5 here tonight. And then Carter Linz, who continues to have a really solid run here tonight, hanging in the top 5.
Yeah, this has been one of the craziest races I have ever seen. We got guys with connection issues leading, like we've mentioned all throughout the broadcast. Cast of characters who have been up at the front. We've seen some comers and goers, some surprise drivers up in the top 10. A lot of incidents. Obviously, we are working caution number, it says 2. What's your sticky note say?
Sticky note is saying caution either 16 or 17. I think I may have missed one in the middle, but we're quick approaching number 20 here.
We're going to call it
I think we're at
17
17
and roll with it. Obviously, timing and scoring does not like when you turn it off and turn it back on in the middle of a broadcast. So that is going to be a little bit off. But it's been quite a show here all the way throughout this race at New Hampshire. When we hit the line, it will be 10 laps to go. And I'm seeing in the chat, Grant Turner was not going to be able to make it on fuel. That caution, not the one he just got spun out in, the one before, saved his race. A few other drivers, I feel like, had that same fate. Pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn. Field in the hands of Jeremy Burns. Through the restart zone.
Gilbert and him are like almost leaning
he missed
on
a
each other.
shift.
The
they're all
22
wrecking.
stacked up the field.
No. Oh, Likens involved, the
complete
49.
Complete chaos up the front.
Oh, they're destroyed. That 49 is done. Another modified
man,
out of the
Likens
list.
is involved. Just brutal stuff there.
Yeah, that's
the
tough.
22, I think, was so focused on being right up against the 9 to make sure he could jump when he did that he just completely missed the shift, bottled up the entire outside lane, and it was just calamity from there.
He's on the door, and then he got jackrabbited. That's what he did. He guessed wrong. He went too soon. Burns waited him out. Got the 22 off the throttle. Everyone else mistimed it, and obviously, you see what happens when you play games on the restart. Yeah, that's hard to
tough
swallow.
because the lead car has had such an advantage on restarts tonight. Right. You almost have to try and anticipate when he's going to go more so than normal to have a chance in the turn 1, and that's what happens when you mistime it.
Watch his RPMs, middle of the screen. This will tell you everything you need to know right here. Yeah, he did miss a shift pretty bad. Obviously got it stuck in first. I had mentioned earlier Rader was doing that quick shift from first up to second. I think Gilbert did the same thing and got it hung between first and second.
This has been a race that I'm not really sure how to categorize there, Morgan. It's just been it's less of an event, and there's still a quote from one of my favorite sports documentary folks there in John Boys. It's been more like 1,000 sledgehammers falling out of a thundercloud. It's just, there's simply too much of this race to process right now.
It has been a real slobberknocker, I think is a way to put it. That's a term I learned from a dirt track announcer in Minot, North Dakota.
Nice.
Yes, if you ever have a chance to go up there, great facility. Check out the Nodak Modified Tour. A little racing plug for if you're a dirt racing fan up here in the northern part of the United States, southern part of the Canadian prairies. That's where we're at in New Hampshire right now, as we're talking about other racing forms. That's how this race is going so far. Jeremy Burns leads.
So
Justice Murphy, Carter Linz, Grant Thorpe, and Travis Gilbert.
About to say, the quick recap of the V-Speed booth tonight has also involved taking the dinner orders out of the field, talking about racing series halfway across the country. We're really, oh boy, Justice Murphy may have nearly clipped the grass there on the choose.
Well, let's go back here. We have that ability. 20 seconds, Justice Murphy. Let's see what happened here.
It was real close.
I think he's okay there.
Yeah, he was better off, I thought. I think I lost him when Linz also shot up the track. I think there was just a lot of movement, and my brain said, whoa, wait, grass is pretty close.
Something's not right.
Looks like the 12 was fine, yeah.
I hear you.
He went low as the 66 goes high. This is a really interesting situation now for Carter Linz. on the outside. Can he do what Travis Gilbert attempted to do, but this time hit the shift and stay with him in the 1 and 2? I think it's the first time the 66 has restarted on the front row all night. He's been in the top 5 a lot, but not necessarily the front row.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here on this restart. I'm curious to know if pinching Burns down is going to be effective or not. I lean towards probably not, because it's on the straight line, on the straightaway. Unless it just makes him mistime his shift there a little bit, or mistime his jump. But Jeremy Burns is such a crafty veteran that it's going to be tough to rattle him at all. Field into the restart zone. Burns is away, and it is not close here on the restart. 3 wide into 1. Robert Rader making big moves on the apron. How about? That is a legal move here. Oh, Grant Thorpe,
and he just
big loose.
doored James Loveland.
And Thorpe,
Rader and
big
Loveland
time
get
loose.
into it. Thorpe slides heavily, trying to get back into line. There's the 77. He's right there now with Loveland and Rader.
Likens and
More cars into the outside wall.
that was Lycan and Johnson trying to use the outside wall, do the old Chastain. That's not going to work here. 5 laps to go, and you never know it. It's a land rush into turn 1.
Diaz, Pickle, Simer running that high side. Everyone fighting for position outside the top 10 right now. Jeremy Burns, 0.3 of a second advantage over Carter Linz. And look at this, just behind them, Fike and Holloway. That's the battle for 8th. Michael Call up there on the high side as well. They make contact.
Yeah, Call's getting used up. Oh, Thorpe's around
Thorpe's around.
again.
Can he catch
I think
it?
he saved it. He sure did save it.
He did. Green flag stays out.
We're still fighting back here. Call on the outside of Rader now. Call is falling through the field. Oh, Harrison, big slide.
Picklesimer.
Great
Picklesimer
slide by
whacked the
Harrison.
outside wall.
Oh, Harrison's still sideways.
Harrison's still sideways. He's
Great.
trying to catch it.
Great save there. Call and Picklesimer have found each other. This might come down to the last lap. It's only 2 cars in between them. Call it 1, and it's Robert Rader.
And that 43 machine looks battered and bruised, but we know the 89's not running 100% at the moment either. So this really could come down to the final lap. And the call, the Pickle 151.
Oh, huge
Oh,
wall
another
contact.
just huge hammering of the wall there for the 43. I don't know if the rotation's off or what for the 43 machine, but he is absolutely hammered that outside wall off of 2 the
Well,
past
if it
2
wasn't
laps.
before, it sure the heck is now. That thing has got to be just mangled. Lets McGeorge by, although they're still side by side. Up at the front, Burns leads the race. Carter Linz, Justice Murphy, your top 3. Okay, but Travis Gilbert really wants to be part of it. A little ways back to Robinson in 5th. Solid run for that driver. As Picklesimer and Call once more right beside each other. But Jeremy Burns going to come here and collect the white flag. Erhardt Homes, love where you live. 1 mile to go. Rolling through turn number 1 for Jeremy Burns, who lost connection early in this race. Went 4 laps down basically before it started. Through all the cautions today, worked his way up through the field. So he rounds out at turn number 4. Jeremy Burns will win in New Hampshire.
Unbelievable drive from the 9 to work his way back when he needed to most. Nothing about the way this race started made it seem like Jeremy Burns was going to be your winner here tonight, but 17, 18 cautions will certainly be able to change the facet of the race in a big way. And it opened the door just wide enough for the 9 to walk on through and pick up his 5th points-paying win of the season, I believe. Carter Linz, a very valiant second, and Justice Murphy rounding out the podium on the 2-tire call.
There is your top 3. Impressive run for that bunch. But burn it down, Jeremy Burns. Once he brings that car to a stop, safely unbuckles the seatbelt, we will have a chat with him here on the front stretch. Oh, they're wrecking on pit road. Oh my goodness.
Richardson and Reinsettle bouncing off each other on pit road.
That's how you
Guess
know
it's
it's been a
just
long
the
day.
epitome of, yeah, I was say, it's just the way this race has gone. Drop of the green flag back at 8:30 to now, it's just been chaos and calamity as far as the eye could see.
Go ahead and grab our race winner, Jeremy Burns. Let's give him a quick interview. I don't think he's going to stop anytime soon.
Alrighty, we'll pull him in to the studio here.
Jeremy Burns, got a copy.
Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, yes.
Holy cow! And I don't think how are you still doing that? Anyway, where to start? You started fifth. Connection issues? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so my power actually flickered. So, yeah.
Yep. So connection issues. Obviously, you just lost the magic smoke out of the engine. Connection issues had you 4 laps down, last place by lap 10, and
Yeah.
cautions. Stayed in it, worked your way through it, got spun around once, and find yourself in victory lane. Tell me about it. There's so much to talk about.
I mean, hold up 1 second. I had to kind of turn off the webcam because everything turned off. So let me get that back on for you here. Yeah, that was crazy. At the point where I reconnected, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, yeah, it just kind of salvaged the day. And yeah, we were just trying to fight to get our laps back, and we luckily got them back, with some time left. And 4 laps down, you usually don't come back from that, but New Hampshire is an incredibly difficult track, and I knew that if I just was patient and abided my time, I knew that I was probably going to be able to get it done. I knew that we had the speed. Qualifying didn't really show it, but last night in practice, I know that we had good speed. And yeah, so I pit there about lap 98, and that put me really close to making it. And I was actually going to make it if it wasn't for the caution there. I had saved up enough fuel. But yeah, I decided to come down and take 2. And fortunately enough, we had enough restarts there to where tires didn't really get to be a factor there. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I'm still like shaking because I don't know if that's ever been done before. 4 laps back to the front and didn't even start the race. That is incredible.
I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. I think when you were 2 down, I said if he can pull this off, even getting back to the lead lap was a feat that I haven't ever seen before, and I don't know if many have. To come back and win the race and to do it in a duel there in the last 10, 15 laps on 2 tires, really an impressive piece of driving by yourself, and well done there, obviously. But I mean, Alex, what do you have for him? I am just beat after this race. It's been an interesting one up here in the V-Speed booth.
Yeah, we've they must have put something in the water up here in the V-Speed booth tonight. We were on one up here watching all the action unfold from New Hampshire. But Jeremy, first of all, congrats on the win. Second of all, I gotta ask you, you come into tonight starting behind the 8 ball, 4 laps down. At the start of this race, once you got going and were on track, what was the goal tonight? What would have been the expectation? Like, okay, we had the connection issues, but like this would be a good way to salvage tonight. Like, what was that goal in mind? Because I can't imagine it was, I'm just going to go out there and win the race, because that would have been an insane expectation from being 4 laps down.
Yeah, well, we took it one step at a time, right? We knew that we weren't going to be able to gain any spots unless we kept getting our laps back. So it was about getting to the front of the lap that we were on, and then waiting for the guys that were, going 1 or 2 laps down to get their laps back. But the main thing that I did was I topped off fuel every time that I could, because I knew, that if I had the fuel and I wasn't forced to pit, then that would give me more opportunities when I would get fuel when I wasn't going to be a lucky dog. So just putting myself in the best position possible. After the connection issues, I was a little bit down on myself. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that we were really strong coming into the night, and after all that, it was one of those things, man, where we just kept chipping away. And all right, guys, I'm 2 laps down. All right, guys, I can get the lucky dog to get back on the lead lap. Hey, guess what? Top 10, and then yeah, taking the bold strategy there, take 2 tires there at the end to manage the restarts. Just everything execute flawlessly, especially when things like a connection issue ends up, putting us behind the 8 ball. Nothing of my doing per se. I did get into TK a little bit, just try to be aggressive and get back on the lead lap. So I'm thankful that nobody else hit me when I did that. Apologize to him. But yeah, man, it was an absolutely amazing race, and this is one for the ages for sure.
I don't know if amazing is the word I would use. It certainly was a race, though. Yeah, I'll give you that. Who do you want to thank or shout out for this back to the front checkers or wreckers to checkers win here tonight?
I just got to shout out my mom and dad, Josie, Dylan, Coach P, Sonny, my grandma, Miss Betsy for their continuous support, Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shannon, Belinda, any of the supporters out there that witnessed that tonight. I know that the cautions were a little, tedious, but at the same time, it was something that put us in a position to win. So I'm thankful for it. I think I might be one of the few. But got to shout out my team for keeping my head in it. I know that a lot of our guys got tangled up tonight, so it sucks to see that happen for them. But shout out to Chapman Environmental for being on the hood. Shout out to the other sponsors of the race: Buttkicker, Coastal Financial, Ultimate Exterior Lighting, Erhardt Homes, All About Bugs. You guys up here, V Speed, and the other admins. And shout out to Fike for the call of the Pickle 150 because that is a amazing name for this race. And shout out New Hampshire because I'm ready to go eat some lobster. How about you guys?
Yes, go wrangle that lobster. Congratulations, Jeremy Burns, your winner in New Hampshire.
Yes.
Probably the only driver who's happy to be here. Anyway, congratulations, Jeremy. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have the rest of your top 3, as well as the results from today's race. You've been watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series, more specifically the Call the Pickle 150, or 151, depending how you want to cut it, because it was right down the middle. Be back right after this.
Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.
Back here live on V-Speed. The results of your Call the Pickle 151. There they are on your screen. Jeremy Burns, we just talked to him. Connection issues. Ended up winning the race with 4 laps down. Congratulations to the number 9 of Jeremy Burns' his entire team. They can carry on with the points lead into next week. Carter Lynn second, Justice Murphy in third. We will talk to those 2 drivers here after this race. Both of them gained a good number of spots today. Travis Gilbert, one of the fastest cars tonight, if not the fastest car tonight, will come home in 4th. Matt Robinson going to finish in 5th. Quiet night for the 1, but a good night for the 1. Dave McDonald caught up in an accident on lap number 1, comes home in 6th spot after starting 29th. Daniel Holloway will finish in 7th, the Candyman. Loveland in the 0-2, the other fast car from tonight. He finishes 8th. John Fite named the race, finishes 9th, right when he started. Robert Rader comes home in 10th. Was probably the 3rd fastest car tonight. Great run for him. Ended up getting spun under caution. Lost him a good number of spots here at the closing of this race. That is your top 10. 11th, Michael Call. He will win the battle against Picklesimer, who finishes 13th. The money goes to the 89. Justin McGeorge right in the middle of those 2 drivers. He finishes in 12th. Picklesimer, as mentioned, 13th. Kyle Diaz had a interesting night up and down. He finishes 14th position. Grant Thorpe ran 2nd a lot of this race. After starting 4th, he will finish 15th. Christopher Schaefer up and down, finishes on the high note in 16th. Ryan Stedel, same deal, finishes 17th. The 18 of Sirkovich, tough night, 18th position. Daryl Johnson had that car working quite well for him. Got caught up in an accident with Forget, finishes 19th. Harrison, pole sitter, lap 1 accident. Finds himself 20th with damage after fighting all day long. 21st, Grant Turner ran up front for a while. Got spun off of the nose of somebody. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alves. Ends up crashing in turn 3, finishes 21st, last car on the lead lap. Al Likens, 22nd, Nick Alves. Those drivers all in modifieds tonight. Front end knocked off of them. Richardson, 3 laps down, 24th. Kevin Orlando Jr. crashed out from the top 5. 13 down, Forget, 29 down. Williams Sr., 32 down. Trevor Keith, Trevor Erhardt, Jeff Israel Jr., all these drivers many laps down throughout this race. Timing and scoring broke, so they are farther behind than they should be. Caleb Gilbert, King, and Nail round out your field here tonight. A lot of drivers having tough races here this evening in New Hampshire. But that is a run through your field. Now we're going to get track side. Alex Gagnon has caught up with Carter Linz.
Hey there, Carter, you got us?
Yeah, right here.
Solid P2 run for you tonight. It seemed like you were hanging around the top 5 basically every lap of the race here. Talk to us a little bit about your night. Felt like it was going to be a perfect night for if you had short run speed, because that was about the only thing that we could really afford to get to out there tonight.
Yeah, no, it was kind of brutal out there, to be honest. Try to get going. Everyone's hoping for kind of a green flag run going, and it just kept on stacking up. Track today was extremely loose. One little hiccup, one little lockup, and you're going to get sent into the next car right next to you. And that's unfortunately what happened a lot tonight. So it was a matter of just trying to maintain that track position. Hopefully you make it alive through everybody.
Yeah, it seemed to be a lot of attrition out there, and anyone who could just make their way on through was going to end up at the front of the field, much like yourself. Seemed to avoid a lot of the incidents out there. A good bit happened behind you, but there was a couple that were happening in that top 5, top 10 cars. Particularly, the one where everyone got stacked up on the restart. Coming in toward the end of that race, the 22 missed a shift or something. Everything kind of got stacked up. What was it like trying to have to play a little bit of dodgeball out there at any given point tonight?
Oh my! It's always a nerve-wracking mess. sometimes you get some call outs from your teammates. They're saying people are getting loose, and they're towards the end. I'm in front of most of my teammates. I know Kevin was up there most of the night tonight as well until an incident happened with him. But once you're up there by yourself and you can't see everything exactly what's going on, 2 cars, 3 cars ahead of you, it's kind of scary when you see just smoke pouring through someone else and there's cars not facing the right direction. You just gotta just keep your head straight and don't do anything stupid. Essentially, just keep going.
And I mean, hey, that seemed to be a working strategy for you here tonight, finishing second. That last run, do you think you had anything for the 9 if that went longer than the time you had, or was second about where that 66 machine was going to be tonight?
Oh, if I was any closer to him, Jeremy, I love you, but he would have caught a bumper. It was kind of, to be honest, it's a little embarrassing to know that he had an internet issue at the beginning and he came back and won this thing. I mean, props to him, but he is one heck of a driver. But it's a little, it's a little bitter coming second to him, knowing that happened. But I'll still take the points.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of points, obviously you already have the 1 win this year, but now second place finish will get you a whole helping of points in the standings. Probably going to be able to pass a couple of guys who did not have as fortunate of luck here tonight. Carter, congrats on the P2. Congrats on the great points haul.
Thank you.
Anyone you'd like to thank or shout out tonight?
I'm gonna shout out Racing Rev. You guys put on great season. Great drivers come out all the time. V Speed, you guys do a fantastic job every week doing these broadcasts. My family, mom, dad, my girlfriend Sarah, hi. All the friends, family that are watching. I know there's a couple other out there. Yeah, just keeping it short and sweet for you guys tonight.
Alrighty. Well, hey, we appreciate that up here in the V Speed booth, and congrats again on
Thank
the
you.
run, and we hope to see you again next week.
Yep. See you guys soon.
That is your second place finisher tonight, Carter Linz here at New Hampshire. Congratulations to him. Now Alex has caught up with our third place finisher, Justice Murphy in the 12.
Hey, Justice Murphy, congrats on the podium finish. You got us?
I got you loud and clear, boys.
Awesome. Well, hey, congrats on the P3 tonight. You had to battle for it. It was a war of attrition out there. Lot of start and stop. What were you seeing from behind the wheel of the number 12 machine there tonight, as far as all these restarts were concerned?
I was pretty lucky. A lot of what was going on was out of the rear view mirror, not the windshield, so that helped. A couple of scary moments probably for myself. About lost it off 2, got checked up. It checked the field up a little bit. I missed a shift at one point, messed up a shift into 1, so it didn't come without its fair share of mistakes. But I was lucky to never fall further back than like 14th. So that's probably a good recipe for how to keep the car in one piece and have a chance at the end there. One of those things. Congrats to Burns, but an embarrassment for the league as a whole to have 17 cautions and let somebody that was 4 laps down at the start come back and win the race.
Yeah, it's certainly quite the run there for the 9. And the only way he would have got back into position was the cautions that came out, and of which there was many opportunities to get the free pass. You went, I believe, also with the call to take 2 tires on that last pit stop. Was there any consideration in taking 4, or do you think 2 was the way to go for the track position out there?
So the only consideration to take 4 if we got a caution late was if the front 4 had already taken their green flag stop. We were good on fuel. I know that Burns was probably also good on fuel. We got the caution with like 20 to go there, so we were in position to set up a 1-2 finish anyway there. But no, once that caution came out and the front 4 kind of got in, basically had their chance to stay up front, I knew they were all going to want to take 4 tires, so it was basically take 2. I was pretty quick on the bottom all night. Most everybody wanted to run like the 3rd lane or up in the newer pavement, and I was really good at like rolling the middle and the bottom and getting a nice run off. So I knew that 2 tires would probably work out nicely, but I needed to be the only one probably on that strategy, and Burns made the same call because, again, he knew the top 4 got bailed out, so he only had one way to get up to the front there.
Gotcha. Yeah, just a tough case of right idea, but maybe too many people having that same idea. But still a really solid points day for you tonight, obviously getting P3 points. And while Carter Lynch, who finished second, was 1 point ahead of, or 1 point behind you coming into tonight, the two of you, I'm sure, will be making some good gains on some other cars in the field with some of the issues that they had tonight. So what do you look forward to going from New Hampshire? Obviously, when we leave here tonight, you guys head to Nashville next week. Does that feel like a track that suits you more than New Hampshire, or are you sad to see the Magic Mile go?
Man, I'm liking the short tracks. Kind of the new package on iRacing makes sense more than it does like in real life with these cars, just because we deal with actual tire fall off that they don't. So I'm kind of liking the package. We saw it last week at Iowa. Once I kind of got the track position, I was able to keep it until I messed up off of 4 and kind of ruined the race for me and Kevin both. But Nashville, I've had pretty good pace at the 1.5 miles and just kind of had really bad luck. While Nashville's not a full 1.5 miles, it runs like one. So excited to see what we got there. I know we'll put in some work this week. I'll be at the track melting on Saturday and Sunday. So
make sure to hydrate as much as you can. It's going to be a hot one out there.
Yeah, it's supposed to be hot. So we shall see. But typically really good there. I know my bracket challenge, I advanced this week because I had Caleb. I'll be up against my teammate TK won last week. So we'll put on a good show for everybody, I'm sure. And that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe we can get some green flag racing in for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Opportunities next week to get some nice long green flag runs. Wasn't the case here tonight, but still entertaining in its own twisted way here this evening. Justice, congrats on the podium finish. Anyone you want to thank or shout out while you're up here?
Yeah, absolutely. We want to shout out All About Bugs, typically the car sponsor. Replaced it for the month of June with the Alzheimer's awareness car and that car for my mom, my grandma. So it was really cool to finally get it on the podium. Had a chance at Iowa last week and again messed that up. But yeah, shout out to All About Bugs. Shout out to the league sponsors, Chapman Environmentals, Ultimate Lighting, Ultimate Exterior Lighting, Coastal Financial, Buttkicker, all those guys coming on. Race sponsor tonight, John Fike, with the special name they call the Pickle 150. We had a little rivalry battle cooking up between Michael Call and Dylan Picklesheimer, so that's where the name came from. Always fun to see those guys hop on board. Shout out to the Slurp number 14 machine for not being here to kick me off the podium like he was at Richmond. So yeah, shout out to those guys. Shout out to my teammates, Trevor Keith, Jacob Sturkovich, Daniel Holloway, putting in a lot of work. Those guys deserve some better finishes there. I know they'll get there. So. And then shout out to you guys. Yeah, I go back and watch the broadcast back every week. Fantastic to see you guys work back and forth. I know you missed last week, Morgan. Missed you, but yeah, it's fun. So hope to see you guys next week. Be back in the same position, maybe a couple spots better.
Well, here's hoping that we get to see it. Thanks for joining us up in the booth here. Justice, we'll hope to see you again next week, or if not, very soon.
Sir, thank you guys.
You bet. That is your third place finisher tonight, Justice Murphy here at New Hampshire, the Magic Mile. What do you say? Time to wrap this thing up, Alex?
I do believe it's about that time.
You have been watching the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series here on V-Speed. Please join us next week as we head to Nashville. We've already mentioned it a few times here. July the 3rd, 8:30 Eastern on V-Speed as we bring you flag-to-flag coverage all season long. And if you enjoyed tonight's race, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button on YouTube. See us right there on the screen. You never miss a single race. We have more content throughout the week. Love having all of you. All you returning viewers, like my father-in-law who watches every race, V-Speed's biggest fan. Appreciate all of you in the chat watching us throughout the season. Can't wait to carry you for the next, 20 races I think we have this year, something like that. We've got a lot of racing left here on V-Speed.
Yeah, 34 weeks, so about another 18 races, I'd say.
18 races here left for Racing Revolution, all the way into November. Should be very exciting. But for everyone at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Bradley Cooper, and of course my co-commentator Alex Gagnon, I've been Morgan Cook. Thank you, and good night.
So Chapman's been around for 32, almost 33 years. It's a great company. We've built it from 10 people not all that long ago to 32 people today. We continue to grow. We're hiring people all the time. If there's one thing that I could do, like before my time is up at Chapman, it is making sure that we've built a company that will stand the test of time. And my goal as the current owner of the company, or one of the owners of the company, is to ensure that we can pass the ownership of the organization on to the next generation of people coming up the ranks today. One area of our business where we impact the local communities pretty heavily is the school systems. So we work for school systems all over the northern part of the state of New Jersey. We operate their water systems, their wastewater systems. We do a lot of their permitting and compliance work, and we ensure that the water that the kids drink is clean. We go out and do the sampling to ensure that it's not contaminated. And we also treat the wastewater that's being generated at a lot of these facilities as well before it gets discharged to the environment. So we are supporting the local community through supporting the boards of education and the local school systems.
All About Bugs Tennessee Pest and Termite Control is all about family too. Our family-owned business has successfully been in operation in Sevierville and surrounding areas for almost a decade. Especially during these times, a pest-free home is necessary for a sustainable, disease-free home or business. Our services include residential, rental, commercial, hotel, motel, cabins, you name it. Free quotes and inspections for new customers, and most of our services are contract-free. Our All About Bugs Tennessee family is devoted to delivering the best possible pest control service with a friendly smile. Contact us at 865-453-5574 today.
If it's bugging you, you should be bugging us.